Governor Kane, to begin from your vantage point, what's happened? Help us to understand.
Look, been years of neglect. I mean, people just haven't put that on top of the agenda. So they've allowed the equipment to go downhill, the personnel to go downhill. They haven't had the best people running the system, and it's deteriorated. And nobody's paid much attention to commuters. Commuters have been saying that quite loudly for a long time now, but if you don't hire the right people, and you don't put enough resources into it, and you don't get new equipment, then what's going to happen has happened, and now it's going to take a while to get it back in shape.
Has it just not been a priority? Has NJT...
No, I agree with Governor Kane. We just haven't put the money into it. That it's not sexy to do the upgrades. It's not sexy to just keep things going the way they are. What people want to get credit for is some brand new thing, the next generation or whatever. Well, that'd be fine if we had a next generation, but so far they haven't come up with it. And so we haven't been spending the money that's necessary on the everyday make it work. I mean, I listen to the radio in the morning, and almost inevitably there are delays on the New Jersey Transit. You know, one line after another, there are going to be 15-minute delays, or it's canceled from one place to another. And that's not sustainable, and that's not acceptable.
This is a commuter state, too.
Right,
people
exactly.
in between two major metropolitan areas.
My son used to do it all the time, and I'd say, are you going to get to the office today or not? I mean, you just don't know, and that's not the best way to serve the people of the state.
Is it a governor who should get blamed, or who does get blamed, when a commuter system just isn't functioning the way people should be able to depend upon? And is it a governor who has to fix the system, to take the leadership and fix it?
Look, in the first place, the governor's always blamed.
From experience,
both
you know.
Both our experiences. And you have about a year. For the first year, you can say, well, it's my predecessor's fault. And people sort of accept that. But after you've been in a year, after that, it's your fault. I mean, that's in the public's mind, and you should have fixed it. And so now we have a governor who's got that in his back, because he's been there long enough now. So and there are stupid things happening. I mean, when I hear a train's been canceled because they can't find an engineer, I mean, that's just total mismanagement. Then still not hiring and training engineers, and when they don't have an engineer, instead of getting another engineer, they cancel a train. I mean, if I was a commuter, and I used to be one, I'd go nuts if I heard that. I mean, it's just total mismanagement.
What are the challenges, though, in trying to fix a system of this size in this region of the country for a governor to take this on?
Well, first of all, the governor really has to. You appoint the head of NJ Transit. I mean, you appoint these people, so you need to make sure that they're doing the job that needs to be done, and that they have the resources. They're getting the resources to do it and have the priorities, as Governor Kane said, to hire the right people and to get on them and say, this is unacceptable, we've got to do it. Now, it would also be nice to have another tunnel taking us into New York. That gateway got canceled, and then we were going to bring it back again now, but no money has been put into it. That's Washington money to share with New Jersey, and we're not seeing that money flow yet. Hopefully it will. But those are the kinds of things where the governor is the leader and saying, going to Washington, going to the delegation, saying, this is important, we need this.
Commuter advocates talk about a stable source of funding. How do you get there? And is that the answer?
We've got it. It's called the Transportation Trust Fund.
Right.
We wrote it in our administration. Governor Whitman administrated it well.
So what's gone wrong
the
here?
The money is there. Well, first of all, I diverted some of the money and put it in other places along the way, which was not good. But it's not money. It's directing the money in the right places and getting the right men and women to run the system. People, maybe commuters themselves, maybe you understand the problems. Maybe we're not going to tolerate the kind of thing that's been happening.
Well, there are implications, certainly, when in terms
Yeah.
of the state itself.
When businesses look at where they're locating, where to locate a new facility, let's say, they look at what's the educational system and what's the transportation, as well as the housing. Will they be able to afford it? But transportation is a huge part of that equation. Can my employees live where they want to live, get to their job on a regular basis? Am I going to be able to depend on them? Or if every time it rains or there's snow, or just for no particular reason at all except they can't find an engineer, the system closes down. That's just not acceptable as businesses make these decisions. There are a lot of competitive places around the country.
And if there's any vision at all there, it oughtn't just be upgraded, it ought to be expanded. We should have a line going to Westfield in Union County that goes right into New York City instead of having to stop. Cut the commute by 40 minutes. That's a great thing. Out in our way, in Somerville, that area, we should have a line that goes right into New York. I mean, the train that's right outside my office, it's great, but it takes 2 hours because it stops at every lamppost.
Governor Kane, Governor Whitman, thank you very much for sharing your views.
Thank you, Ken.